Okay, here we have the the first go round when I was flying my fleet against um, a bunch of different things. My fleet was this one over here. I have my I deployed really poorly on this one. I have my two MC-30s, Yavaris, my squadron ball, which has Luke, Biggs, and Wedge with some two generic X-wings, and another MC-30 over here. What happened was I was first player, and I chose blockade run, and so he set all of his ships up over in this area, going really fast. He had a fleet command. I don't remember the name of it, the one that lets you change speeds with the Pelta. And he also brought a Hammerhead, another Hammerhead, two Corvettes, and they all had TRCs on them, and then a loaded out Foresight. He didn't have any squadron, so I thought, hey, this will be great. I'll be able to, when I saw his fleet, I'll be able to use my squadron ball and attack him and really do some damage. Unfortunately, I had to deploy first, and I didn't know what he was going to do. So I ended up deploying Yavaris over here first with the squadron ball here in the middle, not knowing where he was going to go so that they would be able to reach him. After that, he deployed he deployed something, I don't remember which one, over here, and then I decided I was going to counter that with this torpedo frigate. The plan was then, after I saw him deploy my squads and he put a couple more ships out here, I was going to use these torpedo frigates to swing around in here and get behind him and really do some damage without having to deal with any of the front guns of any of these ships that he had over here. So the plan was to meet in here and really do some damage. Unfortunately, it didn't quite turn out that way. This is turn two. Turn two, you can see I have gotten my torpedo frigates, these two, kind of turned, but this one is so far outside and so far out of the battle that it really can't do very much. I have tried to move my X-Wings over so they're still in range of Yavaris, but that hopefully they can actually take advantage of Yavaris when these Hammerheads or the Corvettes or whatever get into this range, because I really thought he was going to speed on past me. I slowed this guy way down to stay out of range of his TRCs from these, and I thought that maybe next turn I could jump in and get a first shot in on a couple of these guys. That was my plan without taking too much damage. He has me well out activated here, obviously, with all of these ships, and he's taking nav tokens, as you can see here and here and here and here. They all have nav tokens so that he can speed them up, slow them down at will. That was his plan, to get them past me to get the points for the objective of the blockade run. Because he gets the same amount of points for surviving ships in this area over here, in this area past my deployment zone, as I get for ships that I blow up of his. So this is turn two. I was hoping he would run into my Yavaris little X-Wing ball there, and I had already had a real problem with these frigates here being out of the fight. Move it to turn three, or somewhere in there, later in the game. I took a couple of shots in the middle, in between turns. So I have I've effectively gotten Yavaris in here where he can command these squads, but unfortunately I had to move these ships to get them to go, so they didn't get to do their double bombing on these, which would have really been nice. My torpedo frigate is set up to be able to attack first. A couple of torpedo frigates are actually set up to be able to attack first. This one, he has done a good job of flying, so that's not in any of my side arcs there. It is in this one's side arc. And he has all of these ships threatening my torpedo frigate. And I have Yavaris, who is going speed 2, I think now, in a bit of a pickle. You'll see later on that this becomes a problem. I was a little worried here. This guy had slowed down to speed 1, but I think I was able to, I had a token and I have nav dials always on these, so I was hoping to be able to jump him past all of this mess and maybe shoot at the Pelta. This doesn't turn out extra awesome for me. So here we have, after, let's go back a slide. Yep, this is after the this torpedo frigate has moved and this hammerhead has moved. So it looks like, oh, and Yavaris has moved. I believe I decided to go first with Yavaris in order to get some shots in, although I'm not sure how oh, these guys need to move over here. We had them in the wrong place. They got stuck under Yavaris, so that's not where they are. They're actually right here, and I landed on them. So they did get some shots in, and this guy also got some shots in. You can see he is missing the hammerhead, or the Corvette here. It died, so that was good for him, but he is now in trouble because these ships have not gone. All four of these ships. Yavaris is sitting here also taking some damage. These two guys that I have here, especially this one, are not being very useful because they are out of the fight. It would have really been nice to have them in a little closer. This one's going to be able to get some good shots in. Go on to the next one. You can see I've tried to swing both of my torpedo frigates around. Yavaris is here. He's doing okay for now. But his ships, this one, and the Pelta are escaping from the time before. This torpedo frigate is gone. It has been destroyed. And my X-Wings are basically not able to get any shots in on these ships, especially with Yavaris, because they'll have to move and fly to be able to get to those. So you can see here, at the end of the game, I've lost Yavaris. I've killed his Pelta. It's over there, but this ship, and this ship end up being able to fly off into the sunset. My two torpedo frigates, which are heavily damaged, I just ended up not engaging him at all, and we ended the game basically there. I won by 200 to 150-ish in that range. I killed 3 of his ships, and 3 got into my deployment zone, so the objective was a wash. And he killed my commander and one of my torpedo frigates, and that's pretty much the way it went. My X-Wings all ended up surviving, and it was basically a draw. I did end up winning by a little, but hollow victory there. What I should have had happen is these 2 torpedo frigates should never have let these guys get by them. They should have been hitting them in the sides, and that didn't happen. So mistakes were made on my part. Here is kind of the end, and that's the way it ended. This is my second match. I didn't take a picture of setup. I am now flying against my fleet. You can see over here my 3 torpedo frigates that are not mine anymore. And Yavaris. There's Yavaris, torpedo frigate, torpedo frigate, torpedo frigate, and the X-Wings. I have been given a different fleet with 4 ships. 4? No. That's right. This he picked. This is his fleet that he brought, and he picked hyperspace assault. So I actually have a torpedo frigate waiting in hyperspace. Along with that torpedo frigate, I have Jaina's Light with TRCs. I have Yavaris. I have some transports with Tornfar, jamming fields, quad laser turrets. I have Cornhorn, Dutch, Wedge, I think, and Tycho is in hyperspace with the torpedo frigate. And over here, I have a generic, off the screen here, off the picture because I didn't do a good job, I have a generic TRC 90. So this is a fleet I've never flown before. It's one that he designed, and I'm flying against the fleet that I actually built and brought to the table. So I sort of know how it works, but I have no idea how this fleet I have works together. And it caused me a few problems, but it worked out okay. I have placed my hyperspace, my little beacons there, there, and there, in the hopes that he would fly past and I would be able to put that torpedo frigate in behind him on one of these and really make a mess of things. You can see he's deployed his going sideways. I assumed in an idea he was going to make an arc out like this. And Yavaris is back here with Luke guarding him, and that was how he decided to play this. Moving on to the next turn, you can see that I am bringing my corvettes in on the sides with their TRCs, hopefully to do some long-range damage. Yavaris is moving straight up the middle, and he's flanked by the transports. and I have my little squadrons in here. I played this really poorly because they are on the asteroid, and he actually moved a ship into here, and I couldn't shoot at it because they were obscured by the asteroid. Frustrated me a lot. But I have jumped my torpedo frigate in here with shots either at this torpedo frigate or at Yavaris. I stuck Tycho in here to engage these X-Wings so that they couldn't just blow up my torpedo frigate with their 6 shots. So that turned out to be a really good idea. He took 5 of the 6 shots from these X-Wings, and one X-Wing got off 1 shot at the torpedo frigate. Moving along, this TRC-90, it has moved from here in over to this area. Oh, wrong way. And what I actually did here, I parked him, or I rammed him a couple of turns too. I think that in this case I just landed there. I don't think I had to ram him. No, he doesn't have damage cards, so I didn't ram him. This torpedo frigate of his has turned all the way around and is sitting here by my transports. I have sent some of my fighters in from Yavaris, who's going straight ahead here. I've sent some of them. It's really hard to tell. This is his, who's pinning down Dutch. I sent my other ones in here to shoot at torpedo frigate, at Yavaris, at whatever they can get their hands on. Jaina's Light has come around and has put some TRC shots into this torpedo frigate, and this Yavaris and this torpedo frigate are his. This one is mine, and is trying to kill Yavaris and other things. It didn't quite get Yavaris, but it will. You can see that on the next turn, Yavaris has died, as has my torpedo frigate. So my torpedo frigate's gone. Yavaris is gone. I have Jaina's Light here, who rammed something to kill it or to stay alive. I think it was Yavaris. This torpedo frigate turned from over in this area and came up in front of me. I told him after the match that was probably a bad decision because he moved this one after Yavaris had moved. He could have parked it right in the side of Yavaris and really done some bad damage, but he decided not to do that. Instead, he moved it here in front of Yavaris, trying to avoid me, I don't know what he was trying to avoid. He was trying to avoid things. This one over here rammed the back of this torpedo frigate and shot at it. So he put a lot of damage. As you can see over here, he has a fair amount of damage cards on each one. So his fleet is limping along. I have good shots with Jaina's Light at this torpedo frigate or at this torpedo frigate, and I can also ram. I still have shots from this torpedo frigate over here, and I have shots with Yavaris at the back of this torpedo frigate. And Yavaris can also now command some squads and get them into the game. These are my squads. Well, no, that may be wrong. One of these may be his tying them down, but I do have a few squads I can use and activate and get some damage through. On to the next turn. Here we have my ships. I'll sort of tell you what happened here before I blow up all of his ships. What I did in this activation, before all of his ships disappeared, I decided to activate one of these TRC-90s first. Let me look at the next one. I'm fairly certain I activated this TRC-90 over here first, shot at this guy, and moved. And then on his first turn, he activated this guy and tried to get him out of the way and moved him right over into here. And so that guy wasn't going to move anywhere, and I was pretty sure I was going to be able to kill it because it wasn't very alive. So I used Yavaris because this ship and this ship didn't really have good shots on the torpedo frigate that had come over here. So I used Yavaris to shoot at the back of this thing a lot, and then I also bombed it some. And then I moved forward. Now when I move forward, I was really pretty sure I was going to land in this area, but somehow when we did the maneuver, I ended up over here in his side arc. I don't know how that happened because I measured it and everything and I was supposed to be here, but that is not where I ended up. I ended up over in his side arc. Luckily, he rolled really badly and Yavaris survived. Then, after that, what I did was I activated my... I blew this up with Yavaris, this torpedo frigate, which was sitting over here. Yavaris killed it. Then I activated Jaina's Light, and I shot at this torpedo frigate, and I think he moved it right over into here, and I'm pretty sure I rammed it with Jaina's Light, and I think I also shot at it with this one. Don't quite remember, but either way, his big mistakes in this game, if we roll it back, were not threatening me with his MC30s when he had the chance. This MC30, this MC30. After I had moved, he should have gone after he should have gone after things that I had activated, and he didn't. He decided to swing around, especially on this turn. After I'd activated Yavaris, this MC30 right here should have been right in the side of Yavaris, ready to destroy it. And he decided instead to put it in front of Yavaris, effectively taking it out of the battle with no shots at anything. He never did get a good side shot at me, and so what ends up happening if you fly your shrimp around like that, well, you get tabled. Alright, that's the end of that. I think we've heard enough of my ramblings for this one, and thanks for watching.